Well done.
And the lead back up to 2 for the...
When making the decision to take your first riding lesson, there's a certain feeling that some people can't seem to get past.
Fear is probably the number one thing that most students go through and have to learn how to deal with. Obviously, that's a very healthy response.
But with fear standing in your way, the horse can feel the tension you carry. So the less tension you have,
The more relaxed the horse goes.
this is key to building trust between you and the horse.
The ones that are more outgoing, they're going to want to trust you much sooner. It has to be the horse's decision. You can't force that on them.
And you always want to have a team that trusts each other.
Horseback riding may not be considered a team sport, but having the responsibility of taking care of the horse and making that friendship, you and the horse become a team.
You have to really invest a lot of time into each horse, and a lot of that comes from spending time on the ground. So little of the time is actually spent riding the horse.
You must take care of the grooming, dental, sports massages, and much more. But the worst part of it all is when it's time to
Clean up poop, like 90% of the time.
Horseback riding is more than just having fun.
It teaches everybody responsibility. I think it teaches you how to be empathetic and respectful towards another animal, which is really nice.
Whether the end goal is to race professionally or just face a fear,
It's a sport that everybody can try. Whether you use a wheelchair or you are 85 years old and it's something you've always wanted to do but you never have.
Learn more about the different styles of horseback riding and what you can do to be a part of the team on nccnewsonline.com. Sports has a way with bringing friends together.
In Minnesota, over the weekend, 2 high school teams faced off, putting 2 childhood friends up against each other. Here's a clip of the pitcher Ty Cohen and Jack Koken at bat. This strikeout was the final play, putting Cohen's team through to the state championships. But instead of cheering with his team, he runs straight to his friend to console him. Even with such a victory for one friend, he didn't leave the other friend behind. And that's all for NCC Sports. I'm Erica Pischke.
Loose, engaged, trust.
3 words Justin Miller keeps in mind when taking the mound, especially after learning from his mistakes.
When I was a starter at Fresno, there'd be times where I'd be cruising and there'd be 1 inning where I'd get into trouble and I'd try to pitch mad. And sometimes it would work out for me and most of the time it wouldn't. And taking that into pro ball and stuff like that, things would amplify even higher. But once I learned how to calm myself down and control myself and then focus my energy back into the plate and refocus every pitch at a time, then things worked out better.
In 2008, Miller had the opportunity to play in the College World Series with Fresno, which he will take with him for the rest of his life.
Those group of guys, how we came together and were able to do something that nobody else has done, I'd say that's probably one of the biggest moments, other than being called up in the big leagues and living out my dream here.
After being drafted by the Texas Rangers, Miller bounced around, playing in the minor and major leagues for 10 years. That's a long time, with a lot of uniform changes and some injuries along the way. But while others in his position would have quit, Miller never gave up. And now he's thriving in his role as a relief pitcher for the Washington Nationals.
Got it! Outside edge. Called third strike. Welcome back to the big leagues, Justin Miller.
Miller already knew some on the team when he arrived in May.
It's definitely comforting. You walk into a clubhouse, you see guys you know, familiar faces, and just makes things easier.
In Washington, Erica Pischke, CBS 47 Eyewitness News.